Turning now to a huge national story these days. That's the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. It has sparked rallies and demonstrations all over the country today, including right here in West Michigan.
Martin was unarmed and walking through a Florida neighborhood when he was shot by Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman. Zimmerman is claiming self-defense and has not been arrested.
24-hour News 8's Mark Thompson's looking at that law that's allowing Zimmerman to remain a free man.
Yeah, Brian and Sue, after that march at Western, we spoke with a law professor who gave us some perspective on the self-defense laws central to this case.
What color is justice?
As word spread, the crowd swelled outside the Bernhardt Center on the campus of Western Michigan University.
These brothers and sisters put this together last week, you know, Facebook events, Twitter, and to get a turnout like this on this campus is just a beautiful thing.
We just want justice. The students here to support the family of Trayvon Martin and seeking justice for his death.
60 years from Emmett Till, it still goes on every day, and we just want people to be aware about that and hopefully make a change.
More than 200 strong, they hit the campus, most wearing symbolic hoodies as they marched.
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
University President John Dunn on hand to observe and proud of what he saw.
I think their passion for social justice and trying to do what's right, and also trying to understand what happened and why.
Trayvon Martin was unarmed when he was shot and killed, but had a hood pulled over his head. His admitted killer, 28-year-old George Zimmerman, a Neighborhood Watch volunteer, called 911 because he said Martin looked suspicious. He pulled the trigger, claiming self-defense. Zimmerman wasn't arrested, police citing Florida's Stand Your Ground law, which allows a person to use lethal force anywhere if they feel a reasonable fear of death or serious injury. We wanted to know if that same scenario could take place here in Michigan. Cooley Law Professor Tanya Kraus-Phelan says up until 2006, a person was required to retreat first before using deadly force. But now Michigan's law is somewhat similar to Florida's.
Now, as long as you're in a place where you have a lawful right to be, or it's a sudden fierce attack against you, if you're confronted with deadly force, you can stand your ground and defend yourself.
But Phelan says there are many gray areas in these cases. It's all about the perception of the potential victim and whether or not they felt their life was in imminent danger. And that, a jury must decide.
Most self-defense laws also talk about the fact that as long as the defendant's perception was reasonable under the circumstances, even if it turns out later that the person was wrong, as long as it was reasonable at the time the defendant was acting, the law does allow for self-defense to be claimed and used.
And most of the students that we spoke with tonight say that they would like to see Zimmerman arrested and charged. Brian?